Hi and welcome. It's your favourite Yorkshire demo here. This is Suzanne at Hullahbaloo.com, and today is another in my Step Up Saturday series. So Step Up Saturday is where we take last week's featured stamp set, which was the Flowers of Beauty and Unbounded Love suite of stamps, that we made this card with. And we will be using absolutely anything this time round to make a stepped up version of that card. Simple Sunday has rules in which I limit myself to just 5 items to make a card. Step Up Saturday is absolute full free reign of anything I wish to use. So as you can see here, I'm throwing the kitchen sink at the card this week. So we are using 2 colours, Pretty in Pink and Shy Shamrock. These are both new in colours for this year, so 24 to 2026. I am using the matching Shy Shamrock bordered ribbon. They also have some matching colour shimmer gems. So these are the Shy Shamrock here, and then we've got Pretty in Pink up here. I am using the 2 stamp sets I've mentioned, so Flowers of Beauty and Unbounded Love, alongside the Flower of Beauty dies and the Unbounded Love dies. So these 2 come part of a suite alongside the designer series paper that you can see here, which is called Unbounded Beauty. So these can all be bought as a suite, which is why I'm using them all together today. The supplies you will need in terms of cardstock, so I'm using a Pretty in Pink card base. So this is, as always, my A4 cut in half and then folded in half. I've got a piece of basic white that is 3 by 4 1/8. I've got a piece of designer series paper which will mat onto that, and this is 2 7/8 by 4. I've got a piece of basic white for stamping, one for my sentiment, and then one that we will be die cutting here. So this is the in colour glimmer paper, and this is also in Shy Shamrock. So we'll get our stamping done first. I've already mounted my stamps. We will be using the 2 flower buds here, and they're mounted on blocks already, alongside this tall one here. We will then be using sentiment from the Unbounded Love set, which is Happy Birthday. It looks like I've missed a stamp, so let's just quickly grab that, which is this one here. This is the outline. So it's two step stamping, in that you get an outline and an inner. So you can see there the detail and then the colouring, the detail and then the colouring, the detail and then the colouring. So we will be using all of these today. I'm just going to pop the stamp sets out of the way. The dies we don't need yet, and make sure that we can have the room we need to get our stamping done. So I will stamp the Shy Shamrock first. So I want to do the detailed stamp first, which is this one. So mount that onto there, and then I'm not stamping this off. I'm going to press this down full strength. So if I do it to this side here, like so, as you can see, it's just detail. There's no real colour into that. And then we'll get the colouring, which I will be stamping off. So ink that up, stamp it off just the once, and then eyeball over the top of what you've already stamped. Make sure it's lined up like so, and stamp down. And there we have what will be the back of our flowers. I'm just going to grab another scrap because I don't think that one was quite big enough. This one's going to be for the flowers. We do need a sentiment first, so we'll stamp that in the Shy Shamrock before we put it away. We'll do that down here. Let's try that again. Did it a bit too close to the edge. Let's test that. It's better. I have a very new, very inky Shy Shamrock, so sometimes I just have to make sure the ink is spread a bit better. So we'll close that off now, we don't need that. We need the Pretty in Pink, and I've got my 2 flower pieces mounted, so we will go with the detail piece first. We'll stamp that down, and then same as the other piece, the colour piece will be done next, but we'll stamp this off once. So if we stamp this off and then put that over the top once we've got it lined where we want it, like so. And there we go, we've got our flowers to go with our stems. So we've got all our pieces there. We can pop the inks away. We can now bring out the dies. So we need both sets of dies here. So the Unbounded Love dies, we only need 1 piece from this, and that is this intricate one here. Sorry, we need 2. We need the intricate one and the one that goes inside it. Because this one is going to cut out. So you'll see this piece has got a stick, like a dotted edge, and then that will cut out this nice green glimmer piece. And then this one has got a bit of a, it cuts out a frame rather than the inner, but I'm using the inner piece to cut round the happy birthday. So that's the Unbounded Love dies. From the Flowers of Beauty dies, we need all the outline pieces that will cut out what we've stamped. So we've got the flower one here, and that will line up nicely up here. And then we have got the one for our leaves here, like so. Pop them to one side. So what I'm going to do to get these through the machine, I'm going to use post-it notes so that they don't move, and then we get a nice cut of the image. So I'm going to use a couple on this one, and all I do with the post-it note is I just pop it so that it's partially outside the die and partially in to keep it still. Same on these ones. Get this straightened up. Center it up like so, and then I'll put one on each side like so, and then the flower one pop 2 on this one because it's quite a long die. And then just to make sure that this stays on the glimmer and doesn't make it go off the edge, I'm just going to put 1 on there, although glimmer, but post-it notes don't like glimmer, so we'll try that one without. Right, let's bring in the mini machine. So I've got my mini stamping, cut and emboss machine here. We'll put the platforms down for it. Grab my plates. So I need a plate 1, which is this white base plate. We need a plate 2, which is the bottom cutting plate. So I'm going to pop this one on first, and then you need a plate, another plate 2, which is slot that on the top, and then they can go through. It makes up your die sandwich, as I call it. Hold on to the little mini, and as you can see, as you crank the handle, it brings it through. So we should have a lovely die cut piece here. So if I pop them back there, you can see on the back it's gone all the way through. So we'll just pop that out like so. I like to pop from underneath because then I can keep the thing in the die while I'm doing the rest of the pieces. So we'll do the green piece next. So this is Shy Shamrock Glimmer, the glimmer paper. Let me bring it up to the camera for you. Look how shimmery that is. It's amazing. So we'll cut the back piece for the sentiment. Same sandwich, a 1, a 2 and a 2. And we'll bring that through. And that's that. And again, I like to look from the bottom to make sure, oh, well, that one's fallen out, so we know that that's done it. Keep that there. And then this final one, I'm probably just gonna have to trim a little bit of this card off so that it'll fit through. So we'll do that. We'll just take down the edge so that I can use the remainder of that card for another project. And in it goes. And then again, the plate 2 on top, like so. And then we can construct our card. So bring that through. There we go. Now, words to warning on this one. The little flowers for the top of the flowered piece that we're doing, these ones, it cuts them out in individual bits. So if I turn that over, that'll stop them flying everywhere, hopefully. Oh, there's still 2, so we'll put them back in their piece there for a minute because I don't want to lose them. Right, we'll pop these plates away and then we'll start building the elements of the card. So we've got the frame piece here that I mentioned around the happy birthday. So there's the happy birthday. That's the piece we want to keep. But if I get my piercing tool and poke through the holes of the die, you'll see it's created a gorgeous beveled frame. So I'll keep that for another project. Put that die away. Pop my little flowers up here where I can keep an eye on them and not lose them. There's lots of gorgeous little flowers to put on that stem that we've cut out. So there we go. I'm just going to take my post-its and stick them back on my side here. And then the die. So then we can do, this is the glimmer piece. So as you'll see, look at that. That's going to sit on there like that. Beautiful. So pop the die away again. And then this last one is just an outline die of those flowers, stems. Again, pop the post-its away. And there we go. So we've got all our pieces ready. We now just need to construct the card. So I'm going to construct this part first. So it will be the backing. We'll then pop the ribbon on and then we'll layer it up onto the card back. We've got a bit more stamping to do in a moment, but we'll finish this piece first. So I'm going to layer the designer series paper onto the white, giving us a gorgeous focal point for our die cuts to sit on. When my glue wants to come out of the bottle, I think I left this on the side a bit too long earlier and it may have clogged up and dried. Yeah, there we go. I think that's coming through now. Yeah. There we go. So we pop this on that white, and I'm using my liquid glue because you get a little bit of time to just rejig it if it's not straight. Nice, look. You get time to just reposition it, and once you're happy, you can just press it down. So that's that part. That's going to go over to this side. Now, when I first thought of this idea, I didn't want to leave the card just plain. It looked a bit boring. So an idea I saw on Pinterest, and I can't remember who it was. They'd done a similar card with layers, but it'd been more central design, but they'd stamped the background, so it inspired me to do that for this one. So we're going to finish layering this up though. We need our ribbon next. This is Shy Shamrock bordered ribbon. You can get this in each of the in colours. So I bring this up, you'll see it's a gorgeous bordered ribbon there. And all I'm doing is I'm putting a strip round, and then I'm going to tie a bow through the front. So I'm cheating a little, as it makes it look like I've tied that bow around the piece of card. I haven't, because I can't do it. I'm not good enough to do it. So I'm using my stamping seal just to put a little bit of glue on the back there, so that I can take the ribbon from one side, pop it on, take it round, pop it to the back, and then just chop it like so. That gives us that gorgeous, it just pops off the pink. It looks beautiful. And then a bow by sliding that under. And then how I tie my bows is 2 rabbit ears, cross them over and through. Although that's upside down, so let's do it the other way. Rabbit ears, cross them over and through. And then if I turn that upside down, I can get my ribbon so it faces the right way. So you see, there's a method to my madness. If we bring that back round, we can then secure it where we want it to be, faff with it a little bit until we've got the size bow that we want, which I think's almost there. Tighten it up. There we go. So then we'll just snip that to tidy it up. There we go. So there we have it. Looks gorgeous. So what we're going to do next is we are going to glue the happy birthday onto its sentiment, and then we're going to pop our gorgeous stem and flowers on the front of that designer paper series, designer series paper, to get a gorgeous flower statement piece. So that's going to sit just off the card there, like that. And then this is going to sit up the middle, up the side here, sorry. But how I did this was I used my small, so these are the mini dimensionals, and I just found sections where I could stick a dimensional all the way up it, so that we could get as much traction onto the card to keep it secure as possible. And I only used about maybe 5 or 6 of these. Just put one on that. So I need, can I get one up here? I think I can. It's done that. And then the flowers we'll be using glue dots, so we'll get this on first. Just take the backs off. And then we will pop this onto the front, and then we can pop the flowers on there too. So I'm just going to stick it just behind there, because it layers over the ribbon. I make sure I press my top ones first. And there we go. So pop that to one side so we don't lose it. These, as I say, are going to be with glue dots, so get my glue dot strip, and each one is going to get a glue dot on the back, and then we'll pop it where I see it matches. So I'm going to bring my reference point in, and this piece is this one here, so I'm just going to put that there. We've then got this long piece of 4 flowers, which is this one at the bottom here. So I'll be popping 2 glue dots on this. We'll put one on the top flower and one nearer the bottom, like so. Make sure that comes off, there we go. And then as you can see, that sticks down here. We've got a single flower here, so we'll grab this. If you find that the single flowers are quite difficult to grab off the glue dots, use your take your pick, and that of course you can help to position as well. There's then another set of 4. So again, 2 on this. I'm going to put one near the top there and one near the bottom. And then that goes that way and up here. I've got a little trio of 3 which only needs a single dot on it. And again, if you're finding it too small to pick up, then use your take your pick. And then there's this final small little one which just goes off the side here. How gorgeous is that? I love it. I love how it's come together. So we'll leave those 2 pieces there. We're going to do our final piece of stamping. So I've got my scrap piece here just so that we don't stamp off the end, like so. We are going to mount the bigger flower I think I used and the leaves from the Flowers of Beauty. So in fact this one I'm going to use a big flower and the leaves, and that's it. The other one I used a little flower as well, but I found it difficult fitting them all in. So let's get these mounted on blocks. Oh, is that the right one? I don't think that's the right one. No, we want the detailed pieces of each, not the colourings. Right, so I'm going to start in the middle of this one, and I'm just going to fan my way out, but leaving spaces where I can pop the leaves in to fill the design. Like so. And then bring the leaves in, and as I say, fill those gaps where you can. Turning the stamp so that you've got differing patterns. It looks a bit more random, which I prefer. And then if you find there's still some gaps, and you can bring your other stamp back in and fill where necessary, like so. There we go. So pop them to one side, put my ink away, and now we can mount the bit that we've made already onto the front, like that. So again, I used my multi-purpose glue for this. And I just went round that ribbon there. I put a bit on the ribbons to make sure it sticks. And then this onto the card. So I've made it so that it's same top and bottom space, but then I've lined it more to the right than the left. Get that straight. There we go. Give that a good press on the ribbon as well. And then this sentiment, I popped some dimensionals on the back. Not many ones, original size ones, just 2. Get those backs off, and then I'm going to stick that so that it overlaps onto both parts of the card, like this. Beautiful. And then to finish it off, we're going to bring those glimmer gems in, and because green is the colour that's popping, I'm going to use the Shy Shamrock ones. So I'm going to use a larger one, so as you can see, look at those, I pick up the shimmer in them. Beautiful. So larger one, a smaller one, and then we'll go down the bottom with another smaller one, and there we have it. If we pop all my bits away and show you both cards. The stepped up version using the Flowers of Beauty stamp set, the Unbounded Love stamp set, and the wider Unbounded Beauty suite. Gorgeous. If you do want to make one of these, you can find all the supplies, all the measurements and all the tools I've used in the description bar underneath this video. You can go over to hullahbaloo.com and find it over there too. And you can sign up to my newsletter, where not only will you receive an overview of the materials used here for these projects, but you'll also get access, free access may I add, to additional content that is not public. It's only for my newsletter subscribers, so you don't want to miss that. It's hullahbaloo.com/newsletter to sign up. Absolutely free. You only need an email address to be able to take part. And I hope to see you next Sunday, where I will be featuring a brand new stamp set in my Simple Sunday. See you then.